Hello all, once again welcome back to Nomam YouTube channel. Hope you all are doing great, and this is another video in AZ104 lab series, and in this lab we'll see how to manage Azure resources by using Azure CLI. So without any delay, let's get started. So as usual, I have opened the documentation in one window, and in another window I have my Azure portal, right? So it's a continuation to previous video, which is managing Azure resources from PowerShell, right? So what we'll do, I'll follow the documentation. So in this again we have three subtasks. So one, will start a session, bash session from Azure Cloud Shell, and then we'll create a new resource group, and then from there we'll create one more disk using Azure CLI itself. Finally, we'll configure the disk, and once we done all these things, we'll delete all the resources which we created from last 4 labs, right? Okay, we'll just start here. So in our previous session, so what we have done, we have opened Cloud Shell with the PowerShell, right? Now we'll change it to bash. So it is asking for the confirmation. I'll say confirm. Okay, now I'm in the Cloud Shell, right? So that is one thing. Now what I'll do, so first step is completed. I'll execute this command. What it is doing, so it is creating a resource group. Okay, same reason 3C RG1. Okay, it is creating a resource group 3D RG1, which is the same of region resource group 3C RG1, which we created in a previous lab. So I'll go ahead, I'll copy this command, I'll go ahead and execute this command. So paste it, right click and paste it, execute. So it is created, succeeded. So now we have new resource group called AZ104 3D RG1. How can I verify that? So I'll go to resource groups. So here, if I do a quick refresh, I'll be able to see 3D RG1. So we just created, that is fine. So now if you want to check the same thing, I mean the name and all other details, so you can check this from here. So I'll execute this command. There you will get all the details related to that resource group, right? So that is fine. So now what I need to do, we have new resource group with us. Now all we need to do is we need to create a new disk. So for that I'm using this command. So I'm giving disk name, and then I'm executing this command as a disk create, and then resource group which we got from our previous step, and then name we provided at the top, and then SKU we are mentioning standard LRS, and the size of the store disk would be 32 gigs. So that's it. I'll copy this and I'll paste it in shell. Okay. For better view, I'll clear this, I'll paste it. Okay, so it will take a while. So it is running now, it is completed. So if I come here and if I do a quick refresh, I'd be able to see the new resource group. Okay, I mean a new disk. So let us give it a moment. Okay, it's telling it is created, disk is 32 gigs. 3D RC1. Yeah, now we'll be able to see this disk of 32 gigs, right? That is fine. So now what we want to do, if you want to check the properties like for the created disk, so like how we check it manually, if you want to do everything in the cloud shell, that also you can do. How can you do? By executing this command az disk show resource group rc name and the disk name. So it will give you all the details which we saw in the output of the previous command, right? That is fine. So now we have created resources using Azure CLI. What if we wanted to manage this resource, right? So I want to update this disk configuration like we did using PowerShell. So instead of 32 gigs of disk space, I wanted to upgrade to 64 GB. So to do that, I'll execute this particular command, right? Az disk update resource group name we are providing, and then disk name, and then size we are telling 64 gigs. Okay, so it will take a moment. So now it is upgraded, right? So if you want, you can check this from the output of this command, or else you can check the same thing by executing this particular command, right? Disk show resource group and then 64. We just wiped out this particular value. Okay, again like as previous step. So by for now the SKU is standard LRS. What if I wanted to change it to premium? So I'll execute this command and it will update all the resource. I'll paste it here. So now if you see, previously the SKU name is standard LRS. Okay, if you see here, the SKU is standard LRS. Now after this it is premium LRS. Okay, so if you want to verify the same, you can do that. So by executing this command, it will show you premium, which we observed anyway in the previous step. Finally, so yeah, these are the multiple ways like we had discussed it, right? So we have seen manage Azure resource by using Azure portal. Directly we created resource groups and we created logs, we deleted the resource. That is one thing. And second step in 3B, we have used one template which is already there in Azure portal. We downloaded that template, we changed configuration, and we created and managed resources. And thirdly, what we observed is like we created resources using PowerShell. Finally, what we observed now is manage and creating and managing resources using Azure CLI. So this is the end of this particular series of managing resources using Azure. So for series, now it's time to delete all the resources which we have created, right? So first we'll query this like what and all we have created, that resource groups and all, so which is with 3B. So RG1, RG2, RG3 and 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D. So like this, these and all resource groups we have created. Okay, that is fine. So now what we'll do, we'll delete all these resource group and then dependent resources, everything. How can we do that? By executing this command. So as a group list which we got as the previous step till now, so that we are passing another command, so which is az group delete name, and then every time, right? So when it list goes through this x-axis, it will send one value and it will delete one by one, right? So that is how you deal with this particular part, managing Azure resources. I hope you learn something. If you like our content, please like, share and subscribe to our NoMAM YouTube channel. We really appreciate your effort. If you have any queries, please post them in comment section. We'll be happy to help you if you have any queries, and if you have got any issues by following these tutorials, and if you get into any errors, so we'll be there to help you. And thanks for watching this. We'll see you in the next.